Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So you guys seen the video where Oscar De La Hoya, all of a sudden, he starts dissing Devin Haney after the whole situation with Ryan Garcia testing positive for PEDs. The funny thing is Oscar De La Hoya, he responded to Devin Haney asking where his money was. And Oscar De La Hoya's response was, "You can't sell." But the problem is Ryan Garcia, he's complaining about his money as well. He's asking the same question. Where is my money, Oscar? Devin Haney said that Oscar is not even answering the phone when it comes to his money. So Oscar doesn't answer his phone, but he makes a video responding to Devin Haney and dissing him in front of the whole boxing world. But if you guys remember, he was praising the shit out of Devin Haney before the fight because he thought that Devin Haney was going to win the fight, like the rest of the boxing world. But now that Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney on steroids, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't care that he cheated. Now it's Viva Mexico, because now Oscar De La Hoya, he's looking at this situation like the majority of Mexican fans looked at it. Like, man, do you know how hard it is to beat one of these undefeated American black champions? A lot of these race fans, they looking at it like, shit, cheating against Devin Haney, that makes it an even fight. That's the same way these race fans felt when Manny Pacquiao didn't want to take Olympic-style random drug testing against Floyd Mayweather. They were all defending Manny Pacquiao. These fans were literally saying that Floyd Mayweather was afraid and he should be able to beat Manny Pacquiao regardless if he's juicing or not. The truth is, these Mexican fans, they are extremely impressed with black American boxers. They know how difficult it is to beat a black elite American undefeated boxer. Hell, not even undefeated. Because the majority, I'm talking about 99% of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time, do you know they all suffered their first? I'm not talking about just suffering a loss. The majority of them suffered their first loss to a black boxer. From Canelo Alvarez to Oscar De La Hoya to Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And remember, I'm only talking about the greatest. I'm not even mentioning the other ones, the Hall of Famers, the undefeated fighters, the champions, etc., etc. And this is the reason why the entire race is celebrating Ryan Garcia getting this big win on the juice. Because if you were to compare Ryan Garcia's win over Devin Haney over all the other Mexican fighters, that would be considered the greatest, arguably the greatest win over a black American boxer for a Mexican fighter. If you're going to ignore the fact that he was on steroids, SARMs to be exact. And that's the reason why it hurts race fans so much that they have to give the win back, even though the damage is already done and what we already saw can't be taken back, which is exactly why the lawsuit makes all the sense in the world. Not only did Ryan Garcia cheating affect Devin Haney's marketability for future fights, just like we seen proof of that when it came to the purse bid for the Devin Haney versus Sandor Martin fight. Devin Haney just made over $30 million against Ryan Garcia, and now there's a purse bid for like $2 million, which means that Devin would probably only make like 1.5 or probably less than $2 million. This is how much his marketability has been affected from Ryan Garcia cheating. Even before the Ryan Garcia fight, Devin Haney, he made $10 million against Regis Prograis. And let me respond to this as well. I've seen some Mexican fans in my comment section saying, he should get it back in blood the way Cotto did when he beat Margarito. They're comparing the situation to Margarito when he cheated. But Cotto, he rematched Margarito 3 years later after Margarito had got knocked out by Shane Mosley. So Cotto wasn't even fighting the same Margarito. But when it comes to these race fans, it doesn't make sense for them to keep saying, Devin need to get it back in blood and stop crying, etc., when Ryan Garcia is the one that's getting suspended. And his suspension has nothing to do with Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia was going to get suspended because he cheated. The commission didn't have a meeting with Devin Haney to ask him, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with Ryan Garcia? Do you want to go ahead and have him suspended, or do you want to just give him an immediate rematch? That's not the way it works. When you cheat, it's the commission that decides your fate. I mean, since these Mexican fans had compared the situation to Margarito Cotto, we might as well compare it to the situation with Luis Resto against Billy Collins back in the 80s. You guys can look up that story. Resto, he was banned for life for cheating. And no fans were saying, Billy Collins, you crying. Why don't you just give him a rematch? At the end of the day, once again, it doesn't make sense to say Devin, he should get it back in blood in the ring, because what if Devin Haney is not the same fighter anymore? Because Ryan Garcia beat him up on steroids. Bernard Hopkins, who doesn't even like the Haneys, he said that Devin Haney will never be the same. He said that was like 5 fights in 1 for Devin Haney's career. And that was before we knew that Ryan Garcia was on steroids. So now imagine 5 fights in 1 against a guy that's on steroids. Now you could double that to 10 fights in 1. But then there's the opposite end of the spectrum where Devin Haney, he could end up being the same fighter. Because after all, you guys have to remember, outside of the rounds where Devin Haney got knocked down, he was winning the majority of the rounds. But the point is, getting a rematch in boxing is not the same thing. But the point is, getting a rematch in boxing is not like getting a rematch in basketball, football, obviously. Which is why a lot of boxers in general, when they take an L, they're never the same again, because you take punishment. And Devin Haney, he took that punishment against a guy that was on steroids. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes,
Fever blisters, diabetic ulcers.
this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODekey.com.
Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.